Hey, you're watching the Exposure video blog with me, Scott.
Me, Kirsty.
And me, Bethan.
So we finally reached week 3 of the Exposure Radio project and things are drawing to a close.
But not to worry, we're still here bringing you the latest stories in and around the atrium.
Today I headed down to the Cardiff Magistrates Court to find out all about a protest that was going on there surrounding the court case of Jason Simons.
And I headed to the street in the atrium to speak to some Exposure students and find out what they're doing to help local charities.
And I spoke to the Exposure students about inspiration and how they felt inspired. So let's have a look.
We are the 99%!
We are the 99%!
Okay, so I've come down here on this cold, wintry morning to Cardiff Magistrates Courthouse, and there's a lot of people, as you can see, all around the area defending their right to protest. So I'm just going to go over now and talk to a few of the guys just to see what's going on.
Justice! What do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
What do we want it?
Now!
I'm here with Adam, so I've just come to find out a little bit more about what's going on here today. If you could just explain a little bit about what you're
Okay, well, on the 11th of November, people attempted to set up a camp outside the castle, protest camp, to protest against the lack of democracy in our society and the fact that everyone knows there's an economic crisis caused by the rich and powerful, yet it's poor and ordinary people being asked to pay for the crisis. And basically, within 6 hours of setting up the camp, it'd been broken up by the police. The council dug up a very obscure bylaw from the 19th century to say we don't have the right to camp there. In the course of the police clearing us, they arrested 6 people who were involved. Where it seemed very arbitrary, the arrests, almost like they had a quota, like when they were grabbing one bus, they said, "Get him, he's one of the leaders." And 2 of our activists are in court at the moment, where if they're charged, they may face a possible sentence of 3 months or a fine.
Can you guys hear me okay, yes? Well, I've just come out of court now. The trial is a 3-day trial on the 25th, 26th and 27th, believe it or not, June.
Okay, so I'm here with Jason, who's just come out of court actually for a protest that was on.
It was on the 11th of November.
Oh, right, okay, so a long time ago.
Yeah, it was the last few months ago, yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about what happened, what's been going on, what your story is?
Well, basically, I haven't been involved with activism or protesting for my life. I'm a 36-year-old man, and I went on Facebook and I found out that there was a protest in Cardiff, outside the Cardiff Castle grounds, which is deemed as public property. It was given to the people of Cardiff, about the actual protest, about what's happening in the world, about the greed by the bankers and the big companies, corporations sucking the life out of people's lives. So I came down with my megaphone and I was using a lot of humour, offering people free hugs. The police came along and they arrested 6 of us. They told us we had to leave the land, which was public land. We had to leave the land because we was trespassing under a 1875 bylaw. So the police come on and actually moved us, because I was there with a megaphone, peaceful protesting. The police grabbed me and arrested me and 5 others. We was taken to the police station, and we was given an option to either take a caution or take it to court. Personally, as a human being living on this planet, if it's public land and I'm a public person, I'm allowed to stay on that land. If I was causing any alarm, harassment or distress, or any sort of violence or any sort of damage to the land, fair enough, but I wasn't. So I didn't accept the caution, same as Eric didn't accept the caution as well. I just went in court for the case management hearing now, 2nd time in court, case management hearing, and it's actually, my trial date's on the 25th, 26th and 27th of June, or June I think it is. So between now and then, as you can see all the protesters, we're going to have a general assembly. We're going to meet at probably the Cardiff Arts Institute next Wednesday, I do believe, at 7 o'clock. You guys are quite welcome to come along.
I'm here in the street in the atrium, and behind me are some Exposure students who are trying to raise awareness on some local charities. So I'm going to head over and talk to them and find out how they're getting on. did.
Hopefully we'll have people doing relays on the table eventually, but we need to make a nice banner so everyone knows what the table's about, otherwise it's just a couple of people sitting by some piles of clothes really.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about how exposure's linked to the charities?
Yeah, well, we've tried to link ourselves with charities throughout exposure, some with some success, some not so successful, but we're really trying to push it this week. The charities, they're local charities, so we should use our opportunity of, use the opportunity of exposure to expose the charities, expose for what they do and so it's a good attempt. And for 10 of us, we're raising money on the Just Giving site, justgiving.com/exposure fundraising. I think exposure fundraiser. Sorry.
How much have you raised?
At the moment, we've raised £218.01.
Hi, I'm here with 2 exposure students, Becca and Jamie, to find out a little bit about what this is all about. What it's about.
So basically, this week we're really concentrating on our charities. We've had Menth for the first week, but this week now we're really boosting it up. So basically, we're looking at Adrev, a homeless organisation who are based up in Ponty. They want us basically to collect good quality clothing, and they also sell bric-a-brac up in their shop in Ponty. So for Adrev, we're collecting non-perishables. I'll say that again. We're collecting non-perishable food items. So we've got beans and pasta and curry and whatnot in front of me, and we're also collecting clothes, because if there's no room in the shelter, they want to be able to give the people something to wear to keep them warm in the night. So, and we're also raising money for the cancer charity 10 of Us. So we've got a website, www.justgiving.com/exposure fundraiser. We're hoping to raise £400.
Well, so how do people get involved with that? How do people help you raise the money?
Well, we've got the website there. You can go through our Twitter and our Facebook account, and it's being talked about through all the exposure shows today. You can text as well. You can text
MAWE 76 to 70076,
and that's to donate
every little
£1.
helps.
Okay, so £1.
Wicked. So how long is this all going to be going on for?
We're staying here now until Friday when exposure finishes. Sad face, but yeah. So we're going to be here. So if anybody wants to donate anything, come down and we'll be here in the street. One of us will be on the desk.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I hope you've all learned a little bit about what we're doing, and happily donate.
Today on Exposure, everyone's been covering inspiration. Inspiration is a big thing in the atrium, seeing as though we're all doing art and things like that. So I thought I'd ask the Exposure team how they get inspired.
I know it's quite cheesy, but probably what inspires me is my mother. And I've done a little piece for my mother today that's going out on the radio a little bit later on. It's just a 2-minute little short. So she's given up a lot for me, so I think she's my inspiration.
Okay, what inspires me from working on this Exposure Radio project is just how hardworking everybody else has been around me, and that's really pushed me as well to do my best and just produce as much work as I can and be involved in the project.
What inspires me, I think I'll go back to what I said this morning. My mum inspires me. We've been through a lot together, and she's ace.
My inspiration is a bit weird, I guess. About 10 years now I've been listening to Jonathan Ross on the radio. Obviously he's not on anymore, but he was the major reason that I started doing radio and why I wanted to go into broadcasting.
I'm inspired by most people who are I've been there and done that in the radio game, to be honest. As a radio student, I have a little bit of influence through people like Chris Moyles, Colin Murray, those people who've kind of been there and done that and tested the boundaries of radio a little bit. And I'd like to think that when I do with the radio, I try and test the boundaries and see what I can get away with and still make accessible shows that are fun to listeners. So yeah, that's where I'm from.
I found it very inspiring to see students working on this project, working hard on this project, enjoying it, because I think probably they started at the beginning thinking, oh bloody hell, we've got to work for 3 weeks on this radio station for assessment and so on. I think what's happened is they've got into it and they've understood. The more they put into it, the more they get out of it, and they've had some great achievements. Just today we had Tanny Gray Thompson on the radio. they've understood that if you ask for things, you can get them, and there's been some really good content. So it's inspiring to see students enjoying learning, not making a meal of it. You know what I mean?
It was really interesting to see how the Exposure Radio team are inspired and how passionate they are about their inspiration. Myself, I'm really inspired about seeing how other artists have been inspired and about seeing other work and seeing that line of inspiration.
Brilliant. So I've had a really good day today, guys. I don't know about you, but I've kind of felt like a little bit of a news reporter, kind of journalistic.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's been a very enjoyable day. But unfortunately, it's coming to the end of Exposure and you won't be seeing us anymore.
But it's okay, Exposure's still on for a couple more days, so stay in tune on the Exposure website, exposureradio.org, and stay in touch on Facebook and Twitter, and keep listening for the last couple of days.
And enjoy it.
Enjoy it, guys.
Enjoy it.
Bye.
We have. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye.